Joined by a very special guest. And without further ado, I'd just like to have you introduce yourself and tell me some of the things that you're doing out here in the community.
My name is Curtis Riedel. I'm with the Boys and Girls Club of Polk County. I currently reside at the Haines City unit. I'm in that community quite a bit, but I'm also in the Lake Wales community quite a bit too. I'm on the SAC committee here, and so McLaughlin is near and dear to my heart. I've spent a lot of time in Lake Wales over the past 15 years, and so I've watched kids grow up. I've been in contact with the schools here for at least 15 years, so I know a lot of the teachers and principals in the area, even though, we've had some people move or change. So, but yeah, Lake Wales is great, and I love McLaughlin.
Well, you know what? That's one thing I'm sure we can agree on. I love McLaughlin as well and all of our students here. And you have not only had a view of kind of seeing our students grow, being a part of the SAC committee and all these things here, but you've also had a really an amazing viewpoint, and you've really poured into a lot of kids' lives with what you're doing with your Boys and Girls Club. Could you elaborate on that for me?
Yeah, the great thing about Boys and Girls Club is that we actually get to do some different things with the kids. We still focus on learning. We focus on being a good student, but we get some things like to work on social skills, interactions with fair play, those kind of things. And that, to me, is really kind of a cornerstone of what America has been, to a lot of people is like, hey, what better place to be than have, sports events, all kinds of great recreation. I mean, you can't go to a lot of different places and have the sporting events that we have in this country.
Oh, I love that. I mean, that's so true. I think sports are really an outlet that doesn't just show our camaraderie or our team, the way that we, work together as a team in our community, but it also just shows our determination. I mean, you can learn so many different lessons in life. I was a football player. I went to college for football initially. So just learning those lessons in sports is something that is amazing. And speaking of sports, that brings me to my next question. I know that you are an active coach. You are, coaching at Winter Haven with basketball. What are some life lessons that you get in sports and recreation that you can bring over to the classroom and that really you can use in your everyday life?
Well, it was funny. I was actually up at the Big House, which is up in Tavares, Florida. We was actually doing up there with an exposure camp for basketball players. And one of the parents came over to me. Her son had formerly played for me years ago. And she said, and one of her sons are playing for us now. And her comment was, well, I was talking to both of my sons, and one of them listed you as a great coach, and one of them listed you as a great life lesson coach. And I'm like, a great coach or a great life lesson coach? Okay, I'll take both of them.
Yeah.
I think over the past 22 years, what has amazed me is that every kid has their own personality. Mm-hmm. There's not a one-size-fits-all. And in my interaction, even at the Boys and Girls Club and basketball, what my interaction with one kid may differ from my interaction with another kid. Yeah. One of the great things about in the arena of basketball is that you get a chance to build that camaraderie. You get a chance to build a connection that, not just transcends on the court, but off the court as well. Because it's wonderful to see how many kids that you're able to try to really push to get them to understand it's not just about buckets, but it's about books also. Mm-hmm. And so I always use this term, books and buckets. Yeah. Books first, buckets second.
I love that.
Because I want our kids to understand you can't succeed with one without the other.
Yeah, no, I love that point. I think that that's so important when we're talking about the books and buckets, just knowing that, hey, you have to be a productive member of society. You have to be able to read well. You have to be able to understand what's going on around you, because in the end, basketball is just an aspect of life. It's just a game that we play, and that, yes, it might take you far. You might go to the NBA, you might go to college, but ultimately one day that's all going to run out, right? Think about it. Even LeBron James, only a few years left at this point. So he has to rely on, everyone really has to rely on more knowledge, being able to read, write, being able to be articulate, and just have a good conversation. I think that's so important. And I also want to touch, I love what you said about the individual. Everyone is different. I think we need to accept that in schools and classrooms, knowing that, hey, sometimes Joey might be different than Johnny, and we have to figure out what's a way that we can do to bring them together and be part of a team, which is ultimately what you coach, a team. So we have to kind of figure that out, and I love the way that you just put that point there, because I think it's so important.
Well, and I would say this. I'm so blessed because God afforded me the opportunity to be in a situation at the Boys and Girls Club and at the high school to kind of, have some cause and effect with kids' lives. One of the things I've said for so many years is that kids may not all go to college. That's just a given. Yeah. But they can all be good people. I tell kids all the time, just be nice. It'll take care of a lot of things if you just be nice. You may not be an NBA superstar, but you may be a superstar working for UPS. You may not be an NFL star running back, but you could be a star city worker. And there's nothing wrong with that. So, take those careers and, be the best you can.
I love that. I think self-improvement, always knowing that there's something you can work on, something that you can be better at. That is just, you're so right. Because ultimately, we don't all get the same spotlight, but we should be able to push ourselves to that top level of success. I think that's just so, so important. So, I love everything that you said, because we need to use that, and we need to know that for you guys out there watching this. You need to know, hey, not only do I have to try my best, yeah, I want to be in the NBA, I want to do all these things, but focus on yourself every single day. And I think that's important.
Absolutely.
Is there anything that you'd like to say to our students out there who might be listening to this and say, all right, well, I like what they're saying, but how do I get involved with that? How do I find a good leader, a good mentor, someone who's there to guide me and help me really turn into a successful, like you said, superstar, wherever you are in life?
I would tell all of you students, seek out what you enjoy. The things that you enjoy, you're going to work harder at, you're going to be more passionate about. Seek those things out. Figure out how you can do them. Make a plan and start putting your plan together. Those are the things that, you need to know to give you the kind of life that you want to be fulfilled. Sure, a lot of us want to make money, and that's great. But besides the money aspect, do those things that you enjoy doing. It's nothing like waking up every day, going to work at the Boys and Girls Club, because I love what I do. It's the same thing with basketball. Yeah. Other people have hobbies like fishing and maybe golfing. My hobby is coaching basketball.
I love that. My mom always put it to me this way. She said, if you love your job, or if you love what you do, you've never really worked a day in your life. And absolutely. I just think that's so important, just being able to bring that love for what you do.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's amazing. Well, first of all, I just want to say thank you so much for coming in. We really appreciate all that you do for our student body and for the whole community. I mean, all the things that you're doing, coaching, Boys and Girls Club, and being on the SAC committee is just a great thing. And so I just wanted to thank you for that. And with that being said, that wraps up our interview here. We hope that you guys have a great rest of your day. I'm Jonathan Riedel, Mr. Riedel with ITV. Have a great day.